Okay, let's talk about XHTML. So you've actually seen this already. I write it sometimes, you'll see other people write it, and you don't really know what the difference is. So behind me, you'll see in a new file, you can type BR or you can type BR with a slash. And either way is totally acceptable. This way, the top way is HTML and the bottom way is XHTML. Now, there really isn't too much of a difference for your browser. Your browser supports both of them completely. So why would you write one over the other? Well, XHTML, which stands for Extensible HTML, Extensible Hypertext Markup Language, is a little more strict. So it has particular rules in place. So for example, every tag, every self-closing tag that is, needs to have the slash in front of it. And there needs to be proper nesting as well. So let's take a look at this on my screen. We're just going to write a little XHTML, and we're not really going to do a whole lot with this. We are really just going to use this as information and tuck it in our back pocket. So next time we see someone write an image tag that has either a slash or no slash in it at the very back of it, you'll understand why. So let's dive in right now. So here we can see I just have a regular HTML structure here. And when we're talking about XHTML, you've seen me write things like a BR and a BR. And I'll just move that down a little bit or move that up. And so this version here is XHTML. It's slightly more strict than this version, which is just regular HTML. Now it doesn't really matter which version you use, but you're often going to see me write XHTML just because I like a stricter sort of markup. So what that means is when you're writing an image, I will often close it with a slash bracket or slash greater than sign. But often you'll just see an image like this. And again, both ways are totally okay. Now the difference between HTML and XHTML is it's more or less designed to work with XML applications. And an XML application, XML, it's basically HTML. It looks a lot like what we've been writing already, but it has some stricter rules so that anybody can follow it. So for example, if I created my own element and I called it Caleb, well, because it's a self-closing tag, I would definitely need that slash to be valid XHTML. Likewise, on your pages, and we're going to get into this pretty soon, we're going to have meta tags eventually. And you're going to see meta tags like this, and you're going to see meta tags like this. I typically write them like this, but other people like to just save the two characters and just write it like this. Either way is totally okay. Now, when it comes to XHTML, there are some rules that make it a little more strict. So for example, the ordering of your opening and closing tags is important. So if you have a paragraph and then you have an emphasis and then you have an underline, this is going to be underlined and emphasized in a paragraph in that order. So you can see that we have the U tag here, and then we have the closing U tag, and then we've got the EM tag, and then down here we've got the EM tag, but the U tag is still inside of it, and the P tag wraps around all of it. That kind of formatting is really important when it comes to XHTML. In fact, that's actually just important when it comes to HTML in general, because if you did something like this, and this is going to get tricky. My editor might fight me on this. Yep, my editor is going to fight me on this. It knows better. Let's do that. So this is going to be emphasized, and we want, this is tricky to do for me because I write proper HTML. Anyways, so the order of the tags doesn't make sense here. I mean, we have a closing U tag and we're not even using a U tag here. And then this doesn't match this. And you can actually see with the indenting and the syntax highlighting that it doesn't match. So don't write ugly code like this and you will be okay with XHTML. And next we have some attributes. So let's do ATTR is equal to ATTR. Now we've been writing it like this and that is proper. In HTML, if you have an input field, for instance, we haven't talked about these yet, but we will eventually, we can disable an input field by writing disable as an attribute. With XHTML, and this is the way you'll see me write it, is it's disabled is equal to disabled. Disabled is equal to disabled. So in HTML, this is not necessary, but in XHTML, this disabled is equal to disabled is necessary. So that is one of the more stricter rules. And to me, I like that because it just looks a little better. It just makes all of your attributes sort of the same. Now at this point, you're probably asking yourself, should I write XHTML or should I write HTML? And honestly, this answer is up to you. I prefer XHTML just because it's more strict, it's more verbose. If you prefer to write just HTML, that's okay too, because Firefox and Chrome and Safari and Edge will support both of them completely, so it doesn't really matter which one you want to use. Now your task for this lesson? Well, there is no task for this lesson, because this is a knowledge-only lesson. You'll see people using things like the BR tag all the time, where I still have it up here. You'll see a BR tag like this, or like this, and eventually you're going to ask yourself, well, what's the difference? Why is one written one way and why is one written the other? Now you know that one is strict, XHTML, and the other is regular HTML, which is a little looser with its rules.